Jumping in the deep end has never been a problem for Cody Simpson. He doesn't know the meaning of the word impossible. At 13, he took off to America to make his name as a pop star. As unlikely as it was, he succeeded way beyond his expectations. Now at 24, he's diving into another dream. Cody wants to represent Australia in swimming at the Olympics. Sounds far-fetched, singer one day, swimmer the next. But when you see the effort he's putting into it, only a fool would write him off. Dawn on the Gold Coast, and a scene that at first makes little sense. A superstar of song is strutting the pool deck, supremely comfortable on a strange stage.
The best way I put it is I used to stay up till 5 a.m. Now I get up at 5 a.m. every day.
No worries, there's no screaming fans. Silence is the soundtrack Cody Simpson now chooses for the start of his day.
I think about the reasons why I'm doing it and I get up and I go.
He is almost unrecognisable, alone in the water.
It's like a real break from everything I left behind. To just come from a world of noise to like just you and silence and all that stuff.
And that's exactly how he likes it.
It's silent and challenging. Those are the things that I love most. And I just love the water. I love feeling the pain of training, weirdly. Like I like that. It makes me feel like I'm getting somewhere.
I don't believe that for a second.
No, I really do.
I've never felt that.
I really like it, you know. Like, I love going to the edge and seeing where that edge is.
1, 2, 3.
For the past decade, the world has known a very different Cody Simpson. A musician who's released 5 albums. A star of Broadway. He's even been a reason to visit a Madame Tussauds museum.
Wish you could jam with me though. Yeah.
Not bad for a boy from the Goldie. Hello and welcome to Carlpool Karaoke.
Carlpool, you should start that, eh?
Let's start it right now. This one will take you back.
Carlpool Karaoke.
Johnny Cash.
Do you like Cash? You love country.
I'm Johnny Cash. Oh yes, Johnny Cash was my first love.
Hello, I'm Cody Simpson.
Thank you.
I hear that train a-coming. He spent the last decade in Los Angeles. Now, Cody Simpson's train is finally home. Cody, I've done a lot of interviews with a lot of people, and I think you'd go a long way to find someone who's made a bigger career shift change. Like, are you crazy?
Yeah, well, that's why a lot of people thought I was nuts, but not anyone that knew me from before, like,
Yeah.
and knew what my swimming was when I was growing up and stuff. They were like, oh, this is just unfinished business.
Yeah.
You know?
What was life like back then on the Goldie?
It was good. It was pretty laid back.
Cody's parents, Brad and Angie, have always known swimming was in his heart. It's in his genes too. They both swam for Australia.
We were both swimmers. We held him back a lot because we knew the longevity in the sport, so it was just dabbling.
Doomed to a life of getting up at 4:30.
Well, it's mainly selfish of you.
Exactly.
I didn't want to get up. I hated those early mornings. So I wasn't going to encourage it any time soon, but he was showing some ability in the sport, and the Olympics was a bit of a dream for him back then.
I started training around 9, 10 years old. It was only a year later that I was at my first school national championships, winning every event that I was in. It was the first thing I really felt like I could be successful at, and have loved it ever since.
The other thing Cody's loved for as long as he can remember is music. These videos, recorded at home when he was 12 years old, went viral. and catapulted him to fame.
I saw that people were posting things online. People were getting discovered having done that. And I said, oh, well, I'll post something of me singing online. It wasn't long before I was getting messages wanting me to come over to the States. Like, we'll fly to New York, we want you to cut a demo and all this. And later that year, my dad and I were in New York City. I remember going in on my 13th birthday to Atlantic Records in New York, and then we got slapped with a deal offer, and they were like, if you want to do this, you're going to move to Los Angeles.
And that was a really hard decision to make. Do you upheave the family for your one kid's career? But he was so passionate.
Finish school? What's the right thing to do as a parent?
Yeah.
Versus a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, and
exactly.
would he blame us, and then you'd feel guilty as a parent?
Yeah.
So we went through all those feelings, and it was a friend of ours, wasn't it?
Yeah, because we were sort of downplaying it a bit and saying, worst case, we go over for a year and it doesn't work, we just come back. And we've had a
family
great experience.
adventure. Yeah.
And she said, no, worst case, you've taught your children to follow their dreams, and that kind of sealed the deal.
Wherever you are, no matter how far, I promise that I won't give up.
Before they knew it, the Aussie Simpsons were overseas and on the road.
Blow it up, cuz. Blow it up, yeah.
Even joining Justin Bieber's world tour. How surreal. 1 minute you're on the Goldie, and then the next minute he's opening for Bieber?
Yeah, really surreal to 60,000 people at a time.
Yeah.
Cody Simpson is doing great things, recording a lot of great songs, working hard in the dance studio. I can see you.
I think there were periods where I started getting really caught up without knowing it. My family would see that, I was...
You started to get a bit up yourself.
Whatever. Yeah, my head started getting a little big. And they were the first ones to just say, if you keep acting like that, we're going home and you're coming with us.
It's a good thing you didn't go out with anyone high profile.
Tried not to. It didn't happen.
It must be really love if you're willing to stand in the center of the fire.
From reality star Kylie Jenner to supermodel Gigi Hadid, Cody romanced a string of glamorous girlfriends, but none more publicly than singer Miley Cyrus. What were you thinking?
I'd known her for a long time
at
that point, and she kind of acted almost as not a mentor, but she was always a very hyper-creative person. We went from kind of being good friends and just having a lot of the same friends to, being together for a while, and everything ended fairly amicably, and it was just one of those phases, I guess, you go through, and you learn a lot from it.
A few very high-profile girlfriends along the way. Or you would have been 100% supportive of all those girls, like any mum.
Some
I couldn't wait to ask that question.
You're a bugger. You're a bugger. He had some lovely girls.
He has.
We've had some interesting rides and dinners at to people's places, and it's really throws you just like...
It seems to me that Cody loves to love.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He's a romantic,
He is.
a hopeless romantic. He falls hard.
Yep.
Which brings us back to Cody's first love, swimming. The one that almost got away. Someday you wake up and go, I might go back swimming now. And not just swim, but I think I'm going to go for the Olympics.
Go for the top.
What's wrong
top
with
range.
you?
Yeah. It was just a burning desire that never went away, and I knew it was never going to go away unless I let it breathe, and allowed for some time and space for me to actually do it and train for real.
When you heard that Cody was going to come back,
Yeah,
and what did you immediately think?
no chance.
Flaunting designer clothes and a six-pack as hard as the rocks he's posing in front of, the camera just loves Cody Simpson. This cover shoot for GQ magazine is easy work for the 24-year-old. But don't be fooled by his pretty face. What's even more impressive is the unbreakable focus behind his transition from international pop star to Olympic hopeful. You don't like being typecast, and you don't like being underestimated.
No, I don't. People still think that, you know, I'm just like given things because have a name that's well known or something like that.
Or you're given
like,
things too because of how you look.
It's been a constant back and forth of like having to prove yourself in doing one thing after another and just like proving people wrong every time.
Cody has never been tested like this. He pushed himself so hard the first time he trained, he threw up. Returning to the sport a decade after giving it up to pursue music has him following the black line for up to 20 hours a week. But Cody's comeback seems so unlikely to swimming legend Susie O'Neill, she had to see for herself to believe. At the sprightly age, and I can't believe I'm saying this, of 24, is he too old?
No, he's not too old, but his problem's going to be he's been out of the water for a long time. So in swimming years, he's probably only 14.
Right.
You know, so he's young. He needs to catch up on a lot of years. At the moment, he's only 2 seconds off what they're doing in Australia. He'll probably make the final at Open Nationals, which is unbelievable in less than 1 year training.
Yeah.
But just to make that next level, it's going to be tough.
What do you think of him doing this in your heart of hearts?
I think it's brave. If he achieves it, or even if he doesn't achieve it, you know, just to go out there and give it a go and put yourself out there and have people go, will he make it, won't he make it? You know, what a great challenge. I really hope he gets there.
Cody is already closer to his dream than even he anticipated.
Yeah, you did. Good job, man.
His progress is being followed by Amazon Prime for an upcoming documentary, which shows he was stunned last December when he qualified for the Olympic trials.
The goal next week is to try and shave off as much time as you possibly can. All right, guys, even the lanes up.
But Cody's greatest challenge is in 2 weeks' time, when he'll race for a spot in the Australian team heading to Tokyo in July. Couldn't you make that team?
It's a long shot. Statistically, I'm still like a little ways off. I'm closer than I thought I was, and I keep progressing at a rate that surprises me even. I wasn't under any delusion about how long it's going to take for me to get, you know, to the top, and I'm willing to give it, you know, the next 3 years to do that.
That's a hell of a commitment. Are you going to do it?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you wake up and go to bed thinking about something every day, and like in between that morning and that evening are doing what's necessary every day, like you're gonna do it.
You make it sound so simple.
Well, it is. There is no secret. It's so simple.
Hard work.
Yeah.
Dedication.
Yeah.
And passion.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Life is older than the trees.
But Cody will always find time for his two other passions, his music and his family. If someone said to you, Cody Simpson will not make the Olympic team, what would you say?
Wouldn't bet against him.
We wouldn't bet against him, but I said if long as he gives it a red hot crack and he's personally satisfied, whether he does or he doesn't, he's already won in our hearts. He knows that.
West Virginia, mama.
If anything, I get to the end of this whole journey of swimming and don't make the Olympics, being able to stop and go back to music and go back to all these other things without the what ifs of like, I could have done that, is like, to me, that's the win for me. Being able to live the rest of my life in peace, knowing I tried, you know?
I don't believe that for a second. You're not
No, it truly
You're
is.
not going to rest until you've got a medal.
No, that's true. I won't. I really won't.
Take me home to the Gold Coast.
Hello, I'm I'm Tom Steinfort. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our Extra Minutes segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au, as well as the 9Now app.